Coming up to 7:45, and it's one of the North East's most infamous drinking spots, loved by some, avoided by others. The Bigg Market in Newcastle. It's secured £200,000 worth of heritage lottery funding.
The money will be used to look at ways of sprucing the area up, and there could be much more lottery cash to follow, as BBC Newcastle's Ruth Holliday reports.
Bigg Market, one of Newcastle's best known addresses, not always for the right reasons. For years this was party central, but now even its nighttime economy is fading, and by day it's almost deserted. These days there are almost as many to-let boards as surviving businesses. But there's some big news just in for this famous marketplace. £200,000 worth of heritage lottery funding to help develop plans for its future, with another 1.6 million earmarked. And with input from Newcastle City Council and local businesses, that could rise to £3 million. NE1 Limited is behind the bid, and Adrian Waddell is Director of Operations.
It is, I think, by everybody's standards, a bit tired now.
So have you got any ideas at this stage about what it could look like?
This is a heritage project, so really I think the key thing is that the bones are already here. There are some fantastic buildings around here. There are 31 listed buildings in the Bigg Market, and what this project will do is really allow us to work with the businesses to refurbish, to restore, and also to improve the offer and the type of businesses that are operating here.
Of course, the Bigg Market is well known, infamous even, for the nighttime economy. Would you see that being pushed out?
I don't think so. I think the nighttime economy is a big part of the Bigg Market. You know, you talk to people about the Bigg Market, and that's, of course, what they all remember. But actually, we're not making enough use of the daytime economy for the Bigg Market. We're not using the market opportunity. And we know that there are landlords with an interest in this area who really want to bring forward their own projects. And we're hoping that this will act as a catalyst to see that all happen.
And given its reputation, can the Bigg Market ever be upmarket? Is that what you're aiming for?
That's not what we're aiming for particularly, but what we are aiming for is a sustainable, commercially viable, interesting space. And actually, if you think about it, it is on pedestrian routes between the station and Gray's Monument. It's also on everyone's favourite route down to the quayside. It is sitting astride High Bridge and Pudding Chair, both of which are wonderful ancient pedestrian ways that are not really used, and we're not making the most of that opportunity.
One of the local businesses with a big stake in the Bigg Market is Lugano Property Group. Richard Robson is its chairman.
We're a major property owner in the city centre. We have about £30 million of the property right in the heart of Newcastle. Several of the properties actually abut the Bigg Market. We've got a whole range of tenants, from commercial tenants to residential and retail. I think it's a very historic part of the city centre that's been neglected for a while, and we really think it's time this area is refurbished.
So what do people who use the Bigg Market think of plans to smarten it up?
I think we could spruce it up a little bit, like. Looks bad at the minute, like. I used to have a market here at one time, didn't it? But there's nothing here now. Used to be really busy down here at one time, but now it's all gone now.
To be honest, I'm a door supervisor, so I work up the gateway myself, and we didn't get any hassle like what we got doing here, so maybe if it does get smartened up a bit, it might help.
I don't think that it's scruffy. I think it's old, it's ancient. It probably could use some more paving here, but these slabs here have been down for 100 years.
It's a bit run down, but see it on a weekend, it soon livens up.
Over the next 12 months, NE1 will draw up detailed plans for the Bigg Market's future. And if the Heritage Lottery release the rest of the funding, work could start in 2016.
That was such a knowing laugh. See it on a weekend, it soon livens up. Ruth Holliday with that report on NE1 securing that Heritage Lottery funding. So the Bigg Market could be all change. Coming up, we're going to be looking at